If we are to go by public statements, then it appears that the United States and Pakistan have entered into some sort of an unprecedented period of tensions over U.S. operations on the Pakistani border with Afghanistan. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of movement taking place that suggests otherwise. This is not to say that the current tensions are not real, they are. But we're not looking at a fundamental breach or shift in the way the two sides have dealt with one another. We have all sorts of activity involving the United States and Pakistan on the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. This is the seventh day that we've had the shutdown of the NATO supply route through the Torkham border crossing. The Pakistanis are angry over the killing of three of their soldiers and the incursions by U.S. forces using helicopters. And we had the reports about the American ambassador to Islamabad issuing an apology for the deaths of the three paramilitary personnel. Both sides have a situation where they can't accept the position of the other side, but at the same time, they can't do much about it. And this goes both ways. Washington needs the supply route. Washington needs Pakistan to keep the supply route open. The Pakistanis want the Americans to stay away from their territory and limit operations to the Afghan side of the border. They have some leverage, but at the end of the day, the United States is the biggest ally of Pakistan, especially at a time when Pakistan needs all the financial help it can get. So there are limitations in how far both sides are going. A fundamental shift would mean that the Pakistanis are drawing a line in which they're sticking to it, and we're looking at a potential breach. Nothing tells us that that's actually happening. In fact, what we're hearing from inside is that both sides are struggling to get the other side to see things from their point of view. And there'll be a little give and take here and there. The Pakistanis are concerned that they don't want, of course, to overdo things and miscalculate, where the United States says, we really don't need your supply route. Will this happen? Can this happen? It's not clear, but this is a calculation in the mind of the Pakistanis that they don't want to overdo it and miscalculate and then not have a leverage at all. At the same time, the United States doesn't want to simply say, we apologize for the deaths of three FC personnel, and we will promise to coordinate operations on that border in future. But the United States, while it's doing that, it doesn't want to essentially place its operational capabilities in the hands of the Pakistanis or create a dependency. In other words, the United States doesn't want to be limited in terms of what it needs to do.